Hi lovelies, welcome back to another video. So today I have my long-awaited Polygel ombre full set to share with you guys. So I am using tips for this application. I love these tips because it looks as though I sculpt my nails. So I went ahead and prepped, applied my tips and shaped them. And if you're interested in that video, I'd have it listed in my description box below and in the cards on your screen. So now I'm going in with my Tones acid-free primer and I'm going to apply 2 coats to my natural nail plate. Allow it to dry, and now you see me here. I'm going in with the Tones base coat and I'm going to treat this polygel application just as though I would do my acrylic layout. So this base gel is going to be used as my primer. So I am going to apply it all the way from my cuticles to the free edge of the extension. After doing this, I am going to put my hand into my LED light and I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. So I applied a small bead of the clear polygel and I am going to work this all the way from my cuticle area to my free edge. This is going to act as that thin layer to protect my natural nail plates when it's time for me to file off this design and create a new set. Now, after doing this, I am going to put my hand into my lights and give it a full cure for 30 seconds. I'm going to share with you the full thumb in real time because this was actually the first nail that I did to test out the polygel that I made, and then I'm going to speed up the rest of the video a little bit. So the moment you've all been waiting for, this is that polygel that I made in my previous video. In case you missed that video, I'll have it in the cards, so you can definitely check it out. Now, as you guys can see, it still has a gooey texture, but it's not runny. It's not sticking to my brush. It is actually very easy to work with. Like, I am shocked. So I am going to go ahead and pat this to the free edge, make sure that I maintain the shape of my tip, and then I'm going to start working this back towards my cuticle area. Now, in creating this ombre, I realized that when it comes to getting the fade, you need to work with your brush wet, flat, and with a little pressure. 3 tips I can give you guys after creating my first set of ombres with polygel. Now, the great thing about this is if it is that fade is not how you want it, you can go ahead and fix it until you're happy with it. So that is exactly what I did. Now, do make sure that there are no harsh lines, just as though we were creating a fade with acrylic. Is the same effect that we want with the polygel. I'm happy with it. I am going to pop it in my lights and cure it again for 30 seconds. So now I'm going in with that cover almond and I'm going to apply a small bead right at my nail bed, and I am going to make sure that my cuticle area and sidewalls are nice and flush before I start creating my fade. So now I'm going to start my fade. So I wet my brush with my alcohol, and right where I want my fade to begin, I'm going to start pulling that nude. So as I said before, in order to create a great ombre with polygel, you need to follow those 3 tips that I told you guys. Your brush needs to be wet, you need to have it flat to the nail, and apply some pressure. I'm telling you guys this because it actually does help, because the more pressure you add closer to the free edge is the less that nude is going to show, and it's the cleaner your fade is going to look. Now, what I love with polygel is if I'm not happy with my fade, I do go wet my brush and pull it all the way back to the starting point, and we do it again and again and again until I was happy with it, and then I went ahead and I cured that for 30 seconds. I wanted my nail bed area to be a little more opaque, so after curing this layer, I did go back in with another small bead of the cover almond and I repeated the same step. So right here I wanted to show you guys what will happen if it is that you don't work with your brush wet to create your fade. As you guys can see, there are streaks of nude in that ombre, which is something that we do not want. So I wet my brush with alcohol, and now I'm going to go ahead and fix my fade. So just checking my nail to make sure that my fade is even all the way across, and realize that this corner here needed a little bit more nude because that blue was coming through a little too much. So I just added a small bead of that polygel. I'm going to pat it to blend back into the nude that we already have on the nail, and then continue to work that fade all the way to the free edge. Now when I was happy with this, I did go ahead and cure this for 30 seconds. Now I'm going in with my clear polygel, and I'm going to encapsulate. So I'm putting the polygel right where my fade starts. So I'm not going to encapsulate the entire nude, because when I went in with my second bead of the cover almond, I did use it to create my apex area as well. So all I'm going to do is encapsulate to protect my fade when I start to file, and that blue at the free edge, because I did use this blue very thin, so there is no strength to my free edge. So with my wet brush, I'm just going to continue to pull that clear as far to the free edge as possible, because I don't like the free edge of my nail to be too thick. I just need to make sure that it has enough strength. Now that this nail is fresh out of the light, I'm just showing you different angles of what the nail looks like. And I must say I'm very pleased with the way that this turned out. So I wanted to tell you guys that there was no curing issues at all, not even with the blue, not with the clear, not with anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the exact same process on my pinky finger and my index finger. Now that my polygel ombre nails are completed and cured, I'm going to start working on my accent nails. So I applied 2 beads of the cover almond to my ring finger and my middle finger. I did 1 medium size and 1 small, and you'll see why in a minute. So this on my ring finger is the medium size bead, and I'm going to be pulling this bead all the way from my cuticle area to my free edge. Now this is still going to be a very thin layer because it's the background for what I'm about to put on top of it. So here I'm giving you guys a side view as to how thin I am working with this nude polygel. You guys can see how thin it is. It's still transparent. And I did go ahead and do the exact same thing to my middle finger. I did go ahead and put my hand into the light and just gave it a flash cure for 10 seconds. Now on the sticky layer of polygel, I'm just going to be applying some chrome flakes, and I'm doing this more to the center of this nail. Now I did go ahead and put it all the way to the tip, but I didn't like how it was looking, so I just took some alcohol on my cleanup brush and just removed what I didn't want. So on this nail, I wanted to do one of those rose quartz design. So I am using that blue polygel that we made and the cover almond. And I just applied dots of both randomly onto the nail. And then I'm going to take my brush wet with alcohol. And I am going to work that until both colors sort of melt into each other. So here's what that first quartz layer looks like. I'm just going to add some of the chrome flakes in it, and then I'm going to go ahead and cure that. Now for the second layer, I'm going to lay down my nude polygel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover as much of the nail as possible with this nude, and I'm going to use the gel polish this time to create this layer because I want the blue to be a little bit richer. Now I'm going to take my nail art brush and alcohol, and I'm going to start melting the gel polish into the nude. Now I did not cure that nude layer, it's still there, and the alcohol is actually going to help the two colors to blend really nicely with each other. So when I was happy with the way that my quartz turned out, I did go back in and applied some more of those chrome flakes, and then I popped it into my lights and I cured it for 30 seconds. Now I'm going in with a small bead of clear polygel, and I'm going to be applying it to all the nails because I do have to encapsulate them all now. And I'm showing you that polygel is so awesome that I can put the gel on each nail, encapsulate them one at a time, and not have any issues with it moving or running into my cuticles or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and encapsulate them all. I did cure for 30 seconds in my LED light. Now there is a tacky layer once cured, but nothing too extreme, so I went ahead and removed that with my alcohol. I file shaped and buffed off camera, and I'll meet you guys right back for the final part of this polygel tutorial. Oh my god, don't these look awesome? Like, they even look really glamorous matte. So if you like matte nails, this is what it would look like. I prefer glossy nails, so I decided that I wanted some artwork on my ring finger. So I am going in with my Brilbird brush and go black gel paint and my Ugly Ducklings Detailer number 2 nail art brush, and I'm going to create some scroll nail art. When I was finished with this, I went ahead and I gave it a cure for just about 15 seconds, and I added some Swarovski crystals to the cuticle area of my Rose Quartz design nail, and after that was just to apply my top coat and my cuticle oil, and that was it for this design, guys. I know this video was a bit longer than I really wanted it to be, but I hope the design was hot enough for you guys to stick around. So if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. Tell me in the comment section below what next you guys want to see me do with polygel. I'm very eager to be experimenting with this, and I had this design in mind originally for an acrylic set, and I just wanted to push that polygel barrier a little bit more, see if it's possible to get the same results I would if I were using acrylic. And looking at these nails, you can't even tell if it's acrylic or polygel, so I'm very happy with the way that these turned out. And of course, I'll have a clip of the final results as well as some pictures to share with you guys at the end of the video. I want to say thank you so much to my new subscribers and my day ones. I cannot believe that our channel is almost to 10,000 subscribers. So definitely go ahead and share this video, and as always, I'd love for you guys to keep safe, and I'll see you soon.